Hey guys, so I am super excited because I got a new phone, and for those of you who don't know me personally, I haven't had a phone for almost 4 months. Finances really just didn't work out for us to have a phone, so I just let mine go. I was hoping to get it reconnected in time to save my number. I had a pay-as-you-go phone. This is what I had. It is just a cheapy T-Mobile phone. It is through Target, so it is specifically like Target's T-Mobile. So I had to go through them if I wanted to refill it, and they are actually shutting down their phone business plan, so they're going, whoever's on their plan still will go directly to T-Mobile instead of Target T-Mobile, so if that makes sense. So anyways, I was hoping to keep my number because I had my number for anywhere from like 8 to 10 years. I've had the exact same number, and even though I'd switched companies, I just got it ported every single time. So we got here to Texas and he started working, and then by the time I actually went to go turn my phone back on, it had been past the 90-day mark and I lost my number. So it was bittersweet, I guess. So I just said screw it. So it's been another month, or about a month, 3 or 4 weeks, and I was like, well, I'll just get a new phone. I got a little bit of money a couple days ago from YouTube, so decided to spend that on a phone. My husband was very curious about which phone I was gonna get. We had been looking at phones, and when I say we, I mean both of us, because he wants a new one. His smartphone is very old. It's a prepaid smartphone, so it's very old and glitchy and stuff. He was really curious about which one I was gonna get. He let me go to the store by myself a couple days ago and just have like some me time and do a little bit of window shopping and pick out my phone by myself. And he was in bed by the time I got home, so he didn't get to see the phone that I picked out. But in the morning, I could hear him, because I hadn't activated it yet. I laid it on the table in a bag, knowing that he would go through it, and I heard him rifling through the bag, and I don't know if he was laughing or whatever, but I'll show you my new plan, or my new phone. This is my new phone, and I know some of you are like, seriously? I actually did make enough to buy a smartphone, a lower end smartphone, but I didn't want a smartphone. I just did not want a smartphone. So this is what I got. Like, seriously. And I'm really excited. Is it okay that I'm really excited that I have this phone? This, $12.88 at Walmart. 35 bucks, as it says on there, for unlimited talk and text. And I don't know if it comes with data, but really, are you gonna want to look at the internet on this? This is what it looks like. It's on military time. I'm just really excited. I'm really excited that I have this phone. But my husband came home from work the other night and he was like, is that a joke? Is that really your phone? Are you like living in 2002 or something? And I was like, yeah, it's really my phone. It's really, honest to goodness, what I wanted. And I know it seems silly, but I had been looking at this phone for a few weeks now, and we just hadn't had enough. And I know it's like, well, $45 or 50 bucks altogether isn't that much. No, it's not, but with other things, the phone just isn't as important, especially if I haven't already had one for 4 months. For those of you who are curious, we have been using Magic Jack on our other devices, since we do have unlimited Wi-Fi, and it has been just fine. Magic Jack has been glitchy here and there. It's because of the app, not the Wi-Fi. So sometimes when I call on Magic Jack, you'll hear an echo, or it won't clearly come across to the other person, or vice versa. So having a good, reliable phone is something that I had been wanting. So, and I finally got it, and I'm very, very excited. I activated it and then put in some of my numbers, and I think I put in like 5 or so numbers. Here, sweetie, let me see it.
My mommy,
Okay. So I put in like 5 or so numbers, and my fingers hurt because I forgot like how much you have to press, like ABC. You have to press it 3 times just to get to the C. It was a real reminder. So on my old phone, I used to always love to text, and I would be like, please just text me instead of calling. I hated picking up my phone when people called me. I'd be like, just text me. It's so much easier. I have 2 little ones. It's not always easy to talk or to hear people, for that matter. And so I would just always prefer if people text me. And now, since having this, I'm like, please just call me. If you want to talk to me or Derek or anyone, just call, because texting is not fun on that phone. I had gone through a couple text messages yesterday, and I was already like, wow, this is not cool. So I will just be calling people as what a phone was originally intended for. So I'm just really excited about this. So some of you are probably wondering, why the heck didn't I get a smartphone? Well, like I said, I did have the money for it, but I purposely chose not to. And it's kind of just a long list of things that just add up to basically a smartphone would take more time away from my kids and my husband, and that's time that I value. And being on a phone is not nearly as important as all those moments that I'm missing being with my family because I'm on my phone. So, and it used to be like that. Derek and I were really into techie stuff, like the phones, like what's the newest phone and stuff, and we basically always had like the newest phone before we became full-time RVers. And I don't know, we were on it all the time, like all the time. It was ridiculous. I remember feeding my son in the middle of the night one night, and I was on my phone because he was still little, and he would just feed forever. So it'd be like a good half-an-hour session. And so I would have my phone on there, seeing what all the other moms who were feeding their babies, and like my little mom group on Facebook, were doing at that time. And I remember I just randomly shut off my phone in the middle of a feeding and just looked down at him, and I was like, I cannot believe that I'm missing this moment right now because I'm on my phone seeing what other people are doing. Like, it was the most ridiculous thing ever. But I just clearly remember looking down at him and remembering I have to cherish these moments, and I can't just be on a phone. All I remember during some feedings is just being on my phone, not him and I together bonding, you know. And those are special moments I can never ever get back, never. And so it was just kind of a reality check at that moment. And then we slowly just began fading it out. We went to the prepaid cheapy phones. This was a horrible smartphone, but it was really basic, and it did the job. And I was still on it to some extent. It took decent pictures, so that's why I was on it too. don't really care about the pictures anymore. I busted out my camera. I have a digital camera. Most people don't even use those anymore, but I busted out my digital camera and I've been using that, as well as we have an iPod that takes really good pictures. So either one, phone is not necessary. I can always take those pictures, put them on the computer, then send them to family, or print them out and send them to family. So there's really just no excuse for me personally to have a smartphone. My husband and I took our kids to the park just last week, and we were the only couple, I'm not joking, the only couple in the whole area that had kids that was not looking down at a phone. You know, I didn't even have a phone at that time, but my husband sometimes carries his around. His isn't activated, but he carries his around sometimes for pictures and to tell the time. So I don't know, we were the only people. Now, I do have to say, because I know my husband's going to watch you and he's going to be like, that's not true. There was an older lady, like old enough to be my grandma or a really old mom to me, and she was not on her phone. But I'm going to say that was strictly due to her age. But all the other parents that were there were looking down at their phone. And there was actually one point that my youngest had bumped into a girl, like they collided head first, and the little girl was screaming, like crying a lot. And I was like, Derek and I were the only ones who were looking up and noticed it, so I comforted her. There was nothing else to do. I couldn't see her mother anywhere. I didn't know who she belonged to or anything. So my son was fine. He just walked away and said, ow, but she was crying a lot, and I just comforted her as best I could. And then her mother, on the other side, got off her phone and was like, oh, hey, come here. You know, it's like you're missing moments with your kid. And like, if stuff like that does happen, you can't just rely on other people. You know, you don't always know what happens. So you need to be paying attention to life. You know, life is going by very, very quickly. So,
Mom, we'll watch the ghost.
So it's just, I don't know. I feel like I was missing too much life on a smartphone. Just way too much life. And I didn't like it. I didn't like how it made me feel at the end of the day when I was reflecting on the day, and I didn't like if I was on it too long, my eyes would hurt. I just really didn't like how technology and the smartphone had basically taken over my life, and I kind of just, like, at one point, like, lived through my phone. And I was one of those people who would totally flip a lid if my phone was lost, or I'd misplaced it and I couldn't find it, or even if my kids had my phone, because we had really expensive phones. So yesterday, both the boys had this phone and were pretending to talk on it, and I really didn't care. It was totally fine. So yeah, I don't know. I just felt like I was missing life. And I just hated how that made me feel. During the day, since I haven't had a phone, I basically had not turned this on the entire time this was off. I just turned it on a couple days ago so I could get some numbers off here to put on here. And I don't know. It just was really time consuming. It took a lot of my day, even though it shouldn't have. It really shouldn't have, but they make it nowadays so that it is so tempting to just be on your phone all the time. And I don't want to be one of those parents. Part of the reason that we want to RV and be as we are is to be a full-time family, not living smaller and being the same as we were living in a house. I want to change those ways, and I want my kids to see that too. I want my kids to realize there's more to life than just being on your technology all day, and those things can be really addicting. So I'm really excited that I have my old school $13 flip phone, and I get to spend time with the most important people in my life and pay attention to them all day and just love on them, and it's good. I'm really excited to have a flip phone. And the cool thing about those flip phones is that they don't break as easy. You're not going to have to worry about the screens shattering all the time. And the battery life on those is freaking crazy. I've only charged it once since I got it, and I haven't charged it again. Let me see.
No.
Okay, he won't let me see the phone, but it's on a full charge still. A full charge. So I don't have to worry about charging it for days, which is awesome, especially if we're traveling or going off grid and we don't have electricity. So just a huge perk to that. I haven't taken any pictures with it. I don't really care to. Like I said, I'll be using an actual camera and stuff for now on. But how exciting is it that I have a phone number now? So family who is watching this who don't know I have a phone, you now know I have a phone. But yep, and I get to continue spending the best day with the kids and my husband and not being glued to an electronic device. So it's really nice, and it's all because of you guys. You guys technically paid for that phone since I got paid through YouTube for it, so it's really good. Zach, do you want to say hi to everyone since you haven't seen everyone in a while?
Yeah.
You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Say hi. Hi. Okay. He just woke up from his nap. But I will let you guys go, and I will, gotta tend to that.